I want to read you this letter, and I'm not going to tell you who wrote the letter until the very end, but I want you to listen carefully because I think this is very important. It starts, "Dear Mr. President, this is a day of solemnity and awe. It has shaken me that we stand at the brink of removing a president, not because of a popular groundswell to remove him, and not because of the magnitude of the wrongs he's committed, but because conditions in this century have made it possible for a small group of people who hate the president and hate his policies to very cleverly and very dodgedly exploit the institutions of freedom that we hold dear and almost succeed in undoing him. What is so proudly disturbing is not that this small group of haters hatched this plan. It's that this group, or any group equally dogmatic and cunning, has come so close to succeeding. If you had asked me 1 year ago if people like this with such obvious political motives could use our courts, play the media, and tantalize the legislative branch to achieve their ends of bringing down the president, I would have said, not a chance. That doesn't happen in America. We are all flawed. This democracy would not exist if only the perfect among us were allowed to contribute. It seems that we have lost the ability to forcefully advocate for our position without trying to criminalize or at least dishonor our adversaries, often over matters having nothing to do with the public trust. And it is hurting this country. It is marginalizing and polarizing the Congress. We have all been shaken by these last 6 months, but there are two glowing beacons of optimism, two strong oaks that still stand mightily. The first is the wisdom of the founding fathers. Every year I live and every year I serve, I am ever increasingly amazed at their wisdom and genius. They didn't know there would be political parties, but a simple mathematical fraction, a two-thirds majority in the cooling saucer of the Senate meant that removal of a president from office would have to involve more than the whims of a narrow band of politicians. God bless the founding fathers. The second oak is the American people. They are not necessarily as informed as we are on the intricate particularities of this case. They didn't follow every twist and turn, but they knew from their common sense wisdom that this did not rise to the level of impeachment and removal, either as defined by the Constitution or as defined by their common sense of justice, fairness, and right and wrong. And for 6 months, the American people in every segment of the country have been unwavering in their view that the president should not be removed. They remain unshakable in their belief that the Congress, the courts, and the press have gone too far. They were the only truly rational actor in the whole drama. God bless the American people. But, and this is important, if the cycle of political recrimination and scandalizing continues, the American people will become more alienated and cynical and shaken by the political process, and they too will lose faith in the great instrument the founding fathers have given us. If it gets to the point where the American people become too cynical, we could lose it all. So, after this is over, let's end the recriminations. Let us shake hands and say we are now going to forego bringing down people for political gain. The American people have saved us from ourselves. Let's not ask them to do it too many more times. That letter was written by Chuck Schumer, senator from New York, in 1999 at the trial of Bill Clinton. Just 20 some odd years ago, he said, the American people have saved us from ourselves. Let's not ask them to do it too many more times. Man, if only he'd remembered what he'd written. Think about how much greater our government would be if our elected officials actually remembered, believed, and did the things they said.